Hi everyone, my name's Courtney Davis and welcome to Spirit of Celtia, the sacred art of Courtney Davis. Today I'm starting on a new commission piece for a very fine artist in her own right, a wonderful calligrapher and illuminator, so there's no pressure. I have commissions where I am given a free rein and some where I get swamped with ideas. In a way, she sees the finished art in her head and she's trying to project the idea into my mind. So I'm starting on it with a strong possibility that alterations have to take place, and there might be a point where I have to become firm in my control of the commission. So let's see how it develops. As for most of my work, the first day or so is about beginning to connect to the project. Most of the day is assimilating, getting a feel for the spirit birth of the art, rather than blindly ploughing straight in and creating something that will be discarded until the divine influence draws close. I liken this time as the dance of the protons around the nucleus, a powerful central core of emotion that could be expressed as a neutron. With the orbiting protons of conception, layout and surrender, etc., orbiting the yearning to connect and to transmit spirit into a physical form. I was very surprised to feel impressed at the beginning of the painting to start on the medicine Buddha first. Although it never really developed further than the hair and body colour, for me it ignited the painting. The focus then turned to complete the surrounding panel. I felt like it was preparing a sacred space in readiness for the Buddha to reside in his full glory. At the time of creating this video, the focus seems to have moved on from the unfinished centre panel to the surrounding outer imagery, so perhaps the Buddha might be the very last piece to complete. I was listening to the audiobook of Lama Govinda's Way of the White Clouds last night. The Lama was one of the last foreigners to journey through Tibet before the Chinese invasion of 1950. Now, at some point in the story, I fell asleep, and I woke up where he and his companion were tracing ancient, unique wall art that covered the walls of a small and very remote crumbling monastery. Much of the unique imagery was on the life story of the Buddha. I was amazed at the incredible care they took to trace the art. It was so cold that the ink needed to be kept close to their bodies to stop it from freezing, and they had to constantly thaw their brushes and pens between strokes. The only time they allowed themselves a fire was to cook corn chapatis, their only source of food. And yet, even with all that discomfort, there was still an amazing reverence for their task, and their focus to create these reproductions as faithfully as their skill allowed. The choice to listen to this book was purely by chance. Now, luckily, I have a nice warm studio and a great coffee shop just up the road. My only exercise in the day. Though in the past, many of my books were created in studios that were not so pleasant habitats, barns and lofts that were often really bitterly cold, with spiders often running across the artwork. Often I was huddled over a paraffin stove between my legs, and I would override the discomfort and would move into a meditative, creative state that would override the bleakness of the studio. I've often talked about the dramas that accompany the art that has a deeper resonance for me as I paint. Over the past few days I've been trying to get two banks to talk to each other so a large sum of money can return into my account. No matter how hard I've tried, I've jumped up and down, shook my fist, I cannot get the help. So this is usually a time when I have to go into acceptance. This isn't the time to resolve this issue. I have to move back into completing the painting, step into the space and turn the energy from a negative frustration to a positive source to embed into the art. I know it will get sorted and it will probably flow very freely once the art is completed. I don't normally comment on the energies in the gallery while working on the art, so it's interesting to hear when regular customers pick up that feeling and mention its rise and fall. I've noticed on 3 occasions in the past week that the drawer unit containing my paints and inks has been spirited from the drawer unit and placed on the floor beside my work surface. Thankfully, never happened while I was focused on the painting. As I now move to working on the head of the Buddha, it's make or break of the piece, so fingers crossed that the pens and the brushes behave themselves. Over the past few months, my creativity has been more of a graphic nature rather than something that really touched my heart. Though my previous art, Brigid and Imbolc, certainly reopened that passion of the spirit within. But it's been the experience of the Medicine Buddha that has certainly taken me to a deeper heart connection, and it's honoured the energies that guide my pen and brush and rekindled a much deeper connection with those energies. It's actually reopened a passion that I thought I'd lost last year. I'll be starting work on Saint Germain in a few days, and for me he's a Merlinesque angelic being, and I've longed to portray this magical archangel. Thanks so much for watching the videos, for subscribing and for your feedback. As always, may your lights shine.